This work is a collaboration between researchers from Kosovo and Canada and Jordan as well. We move to the next slide. Yeah, a bit about myself. I am Lorent Sijarina, a medical doctor who recently graduated from the University of Prishtina, Faculty of Medicine, here in Prishtina and Kosovo. I've been actively involved in several oncology research projects, mentored by Professor Patricia Tai, which is a world-renowned expert in oncology. We declare no conflict of interest. With a high incidence of prostate cancer, prostate cancer is one of the most common cancer among men, of course, and many patients require regular hormonal injections. But in traditional settings, these injections are given only in cancer clinics, leading to overcrowding and long waiting times. As Professor mentioned, we needed a better, more efficient model that improves patient access while keeping the same quality of care. So that's where the lean management concept comes. So in general, like making things easier, we'll discuss throughout the study what that exactly means. But why offsite? Some patients, especially those patients who live in rural areas, had serious challenges reaching specialized clinics. So we designed a solution, an offsite injection program that decentralizes care while maintaining quality and safety. Objective and hypothesis. Our goal was to evaluate the program's feasibility, acceptance, and challenges. We hypothesized that this model works, is safe, and makes treatment more accessible. Program structure. This all started in 2012 in Regina, Canada, first of its kind in Canada. And patients could now receive injections in community clinics, drugstores, or even at home, so making care more flexible and convenient. Who's involved? This required collaboration between many groups. COPS nurses, or Community Oncology Programs Services nurses, in rural hospitals. Drug companies, which funded and staffed the program. And oncologists and clinical nurses who coordinated appointments and follow-ups. At first, we used fax-based communication, and then we switched to the EMRs, or electronic medical records, which improved efficiency. Workflow. The process was, I might say, simple at all. Oncologist sends referral. Then the clerk or nurse contacts the patient, and the injection is given at a chosen site. Then a feedback goes back to the physician, and this workflow helped to deliver care faster and more reliably. Communication channels. Communication was essential. We used faxes, phone calls, telehealth, and later, as I told, electronic medical records. This allowed us to keep patients, nurses, and doctors connected, which was key for these operations, with smooth operations. Patient selection and data. In 2014, we had 62 patients on androgen deprivation therapy, or ADT. We reviewed 60 patients in detail, checking their testosterone and PSA levels, side effects, and overall treatment adherence. Types of ADT agents. There are several types of ADT agents that we used. For example, leuprolide, marketed as Lupron, 42.5%. Digarelix, marketed as Firmagon, 32.5%. Goserelin, marketed as Zoladex, 15%. And leuprolide, marketed as Eligard, within 3, 4, 6 months. And this was the cheapest, 7.5%. Routes of injections. Some of these were given intramuscular, some were given subcutaneous. Some of these were very painful, for example, Digarelix, and some of them caused less pain, for example, Goserelin. Program benefits. This program brought clear benefits. For example, easier access for rural patients, reduced hospital congestion or clinical burden, better PSA monitoring, and even the snowbird patients, so the one who traveled, could continue treatment seamlessly. Patient feedback. In general, patients were positive. They appreciated local care, and it was easier follow-up. So for many elderly patients, avoiding long travel made a very huge difference. Challenges. Even though we discussed about its benefits, it had some challenges as well, of course. Sometimes nurses missed appointments due to miscommunication. Some patients delayed treatment. Other ones, some of them were mentally challenged, which missed doses. And also, before switching to EMRs, fax timing was critical. So we needed at least 1 week's notice. Nurse retraining. At one rural hospital, several patients had skin reaction complaints. After retraining the nurses on proper injection techniques, the problem disappeared. So this shows how continuous quality control is essential for access. Literature context. This is the first Canadian off-site ADT programs, mostly home-based or hospital models. And this is a novel hybrid, quite innovative to save healthcare resources. Why our model works? So why off-site beats home care? It is more structured. The nurse administered is more safer, and better tracking of compliance and outcomes. Lessons learned. The key lessons of this program are clear communication is everything. Staff education improves patient safety. Tracking systems make follow-up easier, And finally, the lean management principles really work in healthcare. So making things easier in our case. Conclusions. In summary, our offsite injection program is feasible, efficient, and scalable. It improves access, reduces clinic burden or hospital workload, and enhances patient satisfaction. And I would like to thank the members of the IOCRG group for analyzing data and checking drafts, and all the ones who contribute. Especially, I would like to thank my mentor, Professor Patricia, which is helping me and my group, which are mentored by her a lot, and we are very thankful to have her by our side. And yeah, if you have any question or suggestion for collaboration, please feel free. Thank you very much.